Did you take a break? Hello? Hello? I warned you this would happen. You're about to sleep through episode 56 of the Doofy Doo Talk through Shiren the Wanderer. Hey there! I'm back nearing the end of Kitchen God's Cave. I have tons of items. I've reached the point in the run where I actually have to pause and think about what item I want to get rid of because all of my items are pretty awesome. When you hit that point in a run, you know you've got it made. As long as you don't use more items than you get on the floor, you're gonna beat the run. And as long as you don't hit something really unlucky like a huge monster house or a horrible trap. So it's not guaranteed, but 95% guaranteed I'm winning this run. Oh, hello Mr. Tank. You can't stop me. This Dadster Tank showing up reminds me of some of my hilarious, hey, Dadster Tank Meat. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go through this level as a tank, just for fun. I'm only doing this, by the way, because I have Pumpkin Muppet Meat. This is a very dangerous thing to do. Remember no, it wasn't last episode, the rescue episode. I said that I've died a few times shooting silver arrows across the whole map and just hitting the shopkeeper by accident. It's very easy to hurt the shopkeeper when you're running around the level as a tank. Although note that you do not take splash damage as a tank, even if the explosion is right next to you. It's tank versus tank. This reminds me a little bit of Battalion Wars, an old GameCube game, but you can hit the shopkeeper really easily, so you need to pay attention. If you hurt the shopkeeper, you need to revert immediately and eat your Pumpkin Muppet Meat before he enters the room and kills you with one hit. I've done that before and be like, oh yeah, I guess I shot the shopkeeper. Maybe I'll just keep shooting at him and I can kill him, and then no, shopkeeper has double speed. He runs into the room and it's too late by the time you see him. So, yeah, kind of dangerous running around the map. You can see I'm enlarging a lot of the rooms as a tank. Also, it's counterproductive to go through the floor as a tank because you're destroying a lot of loot that you never see. So there could have been some amazing loot that I just basically destroyed. But I doubt it. There's nothing really, really awesome in Bufus Cave. As far as I know, I haven't gone really deep. I just finished a really, really deep run in Scroll Cave, and I didn't find any special loot, but it inspired me to go ahead and do the same thing in Bufus Cave. So at some point, way down the line, I'm kind of eager to start Face Final Puzzle, so it won't be for a while. But at some point, I am going to go all the way through Bufus Cave to floor 99, just to see how fun it gets, because Scroll Cave gets a lot more fun when you get deeper into it. What was I talking about before I became a tank? Let's see. Oh, hilarious ways to die in Face Final Puzzle. So the next level tank, I think it's called an Ulster Tank, and the Cranky Tank, I'm not sure if an Ulster Tank has double movement, but I know Cranky Tank does. It has double movement. Ooh. Let's see, be careful. Oh no. I just sent a walrus at him for no reason. Oh, you just hypnotized me so that I would make you into meat. He unintentionally committed suicide, that poor Lilik. So a tank with double speed can come into the room and then shoot in its second attack, and there's nothing you can do. You know, you have no turns to react. Sometimes I will find a melding jar in Face Final Puzzle, and I'll be so excited. And you have to rearrange your inventory so that you have the items available to stick into the melding jar. So I'll put all of the items I'm going to put in the melding jar on the ground. Already kind of a stupid thing to do in this room. I'll be like, alright, I got everything all spread out on the ground, all my weapons and shields, I'm getting ready to meld them. And then a Cranky Tank will just pop into the room and be like, hey Shiren, what you doing? Like some puppy with explosive diarrhea. And everything is instantly ruined. That's happened, I think that's happened twice. And it's just like, I'm in shock. Like, what? All of my stuff is gone, and this run is gonna end soon because I have nothing. There's so many deaths in this game where you're horrified, and at the same time you want to laugh. It's just so terrible. I can take you out, Mr. Rice Balls. It's important to note that even though I take a lot more damage as a rice ball, I can still attack things. And so can enemies, by the way. Enemies can still attack. So I can usually kill a rice boss as a rice ball. Most of the time, if you have a reasonable amount of HP and you've already landed a couple attacks on it. So that's what I'm going to do. Because there are no really super dangerous monsters on this floor that I know of. If there were, I probably wouldn't take that risk. Wiggy Bale, I'll go ahead and bring him into a hallway. That way you can only summon one monster at a time. Alright, let's get to this week's, or not this week's, it's still the same week. This episode's monster design. Last episode, the monster design was designed around the Dream Gas status. I'm going to go ahead and go through all the different statuses that don't have a monster design designed around them. So the next one is the pain sharing status. In Shiren 3, there is a monster that takes the place of the curse girl that looks like a straw voodoo doll. It, like, pounds a nail into you, I think, that curses your items. There are a lot of designs in Shiren 3 that replace older designs that are not better than the original designs they replace. The death metal gets replaced by this sort of lizard warrior in armor. It looks cool, but honestly the death metal is already pretty cool. What else? Curse Girl, like I said, replaced with this voodoo doll. Oh, slimes get replaced by this cat ghost with an umbrella. It's kind of a weird design. That's from another Mystery Dungeon game, I believe it's carried over, but, you know, the slime is cool. It makes sense. It has a cool attack. Why mess with something that isn't broken? Oh! Alright. I will not die to this trap bot. I must be very, very careful. I'm not going to take any chances. Just going to meatify it right away. Ah. That was cathartic. Destroy the monster that killed me my last run. Although, I remember I did become a trap bot during my last run. And then after that, I got killed by trap bot. That's another reason that I got killed by that trap bot. I know I keep making excuses, but when you are a trap bot, you have double movement, but the trap bot no longer has double movement. That's confusing. So I went through part of the level as a trap bot, and I fought another trap bot, and I had double movement, and he didn't. So even though I know that a trap bot has double movement, somehow when I am a trap bot, I'm faster than the computer trap bot. There's way too much like inequality in the you being the monster and the monster being the monster. So it's confusing in addition to it freezing when it sets the trap. So that is yet another excuse as to why I completely forgot that trap bot would have an extra turn to attack me last run. Ugh. Still a little bitter about it, I'm not gonna lie. But it's okay, this run, it will not happen again. Alright, I'm gonna if I have to meatify every trap bot I see. Hello, trap bot. Speaking of which, I'm just gonna attack it. I can kill it. Alright. Feels so good to survive those encounters. Yeah, this time, what was I talking about? Oh, the new monster design is based around pain sharing. I'm gonna use the sprite design, because it's not bad. The straw voodoo doll, but I'm gonna use it for a pain sharing monster. The level 1 voodoo doll. I'm gonna make sure I take out this rice boss. A little bit risky, I'm missing. Alright. Don't want to step on a rotten trap. Alright, I feel safe again. I'm gonna retreat to this dead end. Just so Wiggy Bell can't summon a bunch of monsters. But yeah, I'm gonna keep the straw voodoo doll design. It's a good design. But the redesigned voodoo doll enemy, the level 1 enemy, is going to have a special attack that makes you into a copy of it. So it'll transform Shiren into a straw voodoo doll version of himself. And then it'll follow you around and you'll be in the pain share status with it. So any damage that you take, it will feel. And any damage it takes, you will feel. So again, that is some threat inversion, because if you have a really, really powerful sword, you do a lot of damage to it, you could unintentionally kill yourself. It might be a better idea just to let it follow you around to the end of the level, where you can get rid of it. The level 2 voodoo doll is also going to follow you around and transform you into a copy, and you'll be in the painter status, but it will occasionally attack you. So when it attacks you, it's going to do damage to you, but it's also going to take damage. So any damage you take, it takes also. So it's kind of masochist a little bit. Level 3 Voodoo Doll enemy is going to transform you into a copy of it, just like the 1 and 2, but it's going to attack itself. So it's intentionally attacking itself because it knows that if it takes damage, you'll take damage, and its attack is going to get more powerful. So just letting it follow you around becomes a little bit less of an option. Even if you have really high defense, a great shield, it's still going to do a lot of damage to itself because it doesn't have high defense. You can still take a lot of damage, so you can't really safely let it follow you around, even if you have a really great shield, like you could with the level 2. And finally, the level 4 Straw Voodoo Doll monster is going to attack itself, but it's not going to follow you around. So as soon as it transforms you into a copy, it's just going to stand in one place and start attacking itself with a really powerful attack. So you need to do something about that. You can't just run away or, the problem is imminent. It's doing a lot of damage to you every turn after you become a double. And I should mention that you are stuck in this Voodoo Doll state, not being able to use your items. So it's basically transforming you into a monster until you kill it. So not only are you trapped in a state where you can't use your items, it's doing a lot of damage to you every turn. So that is a really, really, really deadly attack. That might be overpowered, honestly. I think I might have made the level 4 Voodoo Doll too strong. But that's my idea, so I'll think about it some more. Again, I think that's a pretty interesting idea. It's promiscuous. I can see a lot of situations in which you would allow the Voodoo Doll to follow you around. I like that idea of not necessarily, of killing the enemy not necessarily always being the best thing to do. Especially if you have a really strong sword. You don't want to kill it because you're going to do a ton of damage to yourself, maybe even kill yourself. This design, believe it or not, is based on some unhealthy relationships I've seen my friends in. You might have seen someone in a relationship with someone where one person becomes dominant and they sort of transform the other person into a copy of themselves, or they try to. You have to like exactly what I like and do what I do and get along with... Let me pay attention here. I don't want to get killed when I'm all caught up. Alright, there's no problem. Notice I'm not moving, because the chance of me stepping on a rotten trap is pretty slim, but I'm not going to take the risk at this point. We're almost done with the dungeon. Yeah, you might have seen a relationship in which one person's kind of subservient to the other one, and they kind of become a copy of one person. I hate that. I do not like a woman who starts to like everything I like just because I like it. And socializers do this all the time. If something is popular and makes a lot of people happy, socializers will be like, oh yeah, all my friends are into it. I'm kind of into it too. It's cool. No. I want people to be independent because I'm really asocial and fiercely independent. I do not like the idea of... if you introduce someone to something and they genuinely like it, and they're like, oh, I never knew about this, but it's cool. Yeah, of course that's fine because you're still sort of... You have your own taste, But if you automatically like things just because someone else likes them, it's kind of creepy. Anyway, that monster design is based on that observation. I'm going to keep on making episodes until I finish this, I think. So I'll see you soon. Try to stay awake. Bye-bye. I hurt myself today to see if I could kill this monster that has made a slave of my free will. A hammer hits a nail. It hurts us both the same. I can't kill it with my sword, 'cause all we share is pain.
It's tank versus tank.
Hey Shiren, what you doing?